Hello, welcome to episode 181 in the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.21.5. We're doing XP storage, updated, because we did this in episode 30, I believe. Let me show you what I mean, and then we'll have a little waffle. And you can always use timestamps to jump ahead to see how we make it. So let's go to survival. I've got some XP. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got 10 XP. Let's make an XP emerald. Okay, and I can right-click. Boink. Our XP is now stored on there. We can have a look. It's stored in points rather than levels. And that's just much easier. And we can shift right click to retrieve the XP. Okay, so if I shift right click, well, if I right click, it'll just say Emerald already has XP stored. If we shift right click, I get my 10 back, and I get my Emerald back, and my Emerald's empty again now, so I can use that. Okay, now the reason I wanted to update it, one, we're on a different version. Two, I don't think I even had a recipe last time, so there was no way to get it if you're actually playing, because I want to add this to my Dataland series. And what I wanted last time it was just used emeralds. That was it. Any old emerald. You could store XP on any old emerald, which meant also you could then craft stuff out of the emeralds or turn them into blocks and sort of. But I wanted a payment. So now, if you want to get an XP emerald, you have to actually use a diamond, and each emerald will store up to 50 levels. So if I do XP add to myself 50 levels, and now that has added 50 levels, and you might be saying, well, no, because you've still got 42 left. But that's because of the way it's the exponential growth of the levels. So if I actually clear my XP now, XP set myself 0 levels, and we use this 50. Okay, so we can store 50 on each one. Because of the way we loop through counting, you can only run so many commands before Minecraft goes, I've had enough. So 50 was a nice one to stop. You try to start doing more than that, and it'll just say, oh, it's too many commands. And I kind of like 50. It's nice. It means if you want to have a load of them, then you're going to have to use more diamonds. It's going to cost you more money. And that's the sort of thing I wanted for my series. I didn't want everything to just be free and cheap. If I want to store my XP, I need to pay for it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making. Let's store our XP back on there. We've got a little bit left over. I couldn't really get that to fix, but we got it back. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let's get on and build it now. Okay, here we are in VS Code. Let's have a look at the folders and files. So inside my namespace, we have advancement, and we've got use XP emerald. And inside my namespace function, we've got XP. That's where I'm putting my functions, and we'll be using the load. We won't be using the tick function, so we could just remove that one, and actually this one here as well. We've got an item modifier to remove one item from our stack, and we've got is sneaking, and we're going to have a recipe. Okay, what should we start with first? Let's do some of these easy things first. Remove one from stack. Let's get that done. An item modifier. So if we've got 64, we'll have 63. If we've got 1, we'll have 0. Item modifier. Function, we will set count. Count will be a float. We will say -1, and we will add that. There we go. Pretty simple. We've added -1. Effectively, we've taken away 1. Copy that. Pop it into remove one from stack. Save. Bye-bye. And let's go straight on to predicate is sneaking as well. That's a nice, quick, easy one. Let's reset that. Predicate. Entity properties. Entity this. Predicate flags. Is sneaking true. Copy. There we go. Done that one. Put that in. Is sneaking predicate. Save that. Bye-bye. Let's do the load function, because I do need a scoreboard to store values in. So we'll do scoreboard. Do we have an autofill? No, we don't have any autofill. I'm in 1.2.1.5, and it's just a pain in the bum sometimes. Scoreboard. Objectives. Add a value dummy. Now, we're going to have to be quite careful with our spelling mistakes today. That's a load dumb. I think next would be a recipe, wouldn't it? So let's just pop back. And we've got an empty data pack. So if we do reload, stick myself in there. So I shouldn't have a recipe now. No, we've got no recipe. Okay. Cool. Let's do the recipe so we can actually make this thing. Well, misode again, I think. Misode, let's reset to default. Recipe. Okay, type. I'm going to have it shapeless. Category, let's say miscellaneous. Ingredients will be a string, and we'll say you have to have an emerald. And then depending on how expensive you want these to be, I'm thinking I'm just going to use a diamond. 1 diamond for every XP storage device. Yeah, it seems alright. Give an extra use for diamonds. Because I do find towards the end of the game, I never use diamonds. I just get all my stuff from villagers. So let's just get a use for it. There we go. And the result. So we want an XP emerald that we can store our XP on. Am I going to use an emerald? No, I'm not. I'm going to use a poisonous potato. Now, poisonous potato has no crafting recipes. That's why. Emerald, you could turn into a block of emerald, and suddenly you've lost your XP emerald. Poisonous potato, you can't do anything with it. Well, you can eat it, but we're going to be overriding that anyway, so that's why we're using poisonous potato. There are other things you can use. I just like to use this one. Right, components. So we want an item name, so let's do that. Item name. Let's add all the components in first, and then we'll go through them. Item name, add. Okay. And then we'll want consumable. Consumable add. We'll want food. Food add. We want custom data. Custom data add. Not custom model data, custom data. We'll add some lore as well, because we can explain how the player can use it in the lore. And we want an item model, because we don't want it to look like a poisonous potato. So we'll have an item model. And we'll have an enchantment glint override, just so when you look at it in your inventory, it looks a little bit different to a normal emerald. Okay. So that's added all those things there. Let's fill them in. Minecraft name. Do we want it to be a string? No, I'm going to say it's a text. Text. Let's say it's an XP emerald. And the reason I've done text is so I can set a colour, and I'm going to set the colour to an enum, and the enum will be gold. Gold. There we go. Next one. Minecraft consumable. Okay, let's set it to 1 million. So it'll take me 1 million seconds to eat this potato. So that's effectively overridden the fact we could eat it before. And also, as soon as we start to eat it, we're going to detect it with an advancement. So we're not going to eat it. Next one. Minecraft food. Well, I don't want any nutrition. I don't want any saturation. And I always want to be able to use it. So we'll say true, can't always eat. If you set that to false, then you can only eat it if you're hungry. It's not very useful. You can only store XP when you're hungry. No. Custom data. I will call this XP emerald. But it will be a boolean, and we'll set that to true. Minecraft lore. We'll add some lore. Won't have a string. Actually, probably just a string is fine here. But just in case, we'll do text anyway, just in case you want to see the options. There we go, got the options there. Let's do right click to store XP. Okay, I'm not going to change anything else, I'm just going to leave that like that. Item model, what do I want it to look like? I want it to look like an emerald. Minecraft emerald. Enchantment glint override true. Okay, let's copy that. Let's take it back. Let's put it into our recipe. Oh, we're already in there. Let's press save. Looks good. Let's go to Minecraft. Let's do a reload. Let's have a look. Oh, XP Emerald. There it is. So let's craft one of them. Okay, now we've crafted one. It's also there. Do they stack? Yeah, they do. Okay, so we got the recipe the same as last time. They do stack. Great. So that's our recipe done. Okay, so probably next would make sense. We need to detect if we're using it, don't we? Otherwise we can't go any further. So let's go use XP Emerald Advancement. And as usual, the advancement use XP Emerald is going to run the function use XP Emerald. I like to keep them the same, makes it obvious. Off we go to Misode. Let's do a reset. Let's go to advancement. Let's call it criteria. Let's call it use XP Emerald as well. Why not? There we go. Use XP Emerald. Let's add that. A trigger. Using item. We're going to start trying to munch on this thing. Conditions. We'll say the player is an object. What do I want to check? I want to check their equipment, and in their main hand, are they holding? Well, I don't care what item it is, to be honest, and I don't care how many of them they've got. And we don't want to check a component by itself. We're going to check a predicate. because we want to check if it's got XP Emerald true. We don't care if it's got other things as well, so we're going to use a predicate. And in there, we are going to check the custom data. And the custom data we're going to check is XP Emerald. And we set that as a Boolean and to true. Okay, that looks good. And the reward will be a function. Blah, 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 blah. We'll just put a placeholder there. We'll copy that. We'll take it back. We'll put it into our advancement file. And here we'll change that function so it's pointing to use XP Emerald. Job done. Let's save that. And then what I'm going to do is go into using XP Emerald. We'll revoke the advancement because we want to be able to use it again. If we don't revoke the advancement, we can't. Revoke advancement, revoke at S only that advancement. And let's just do, say, om-nom. Okay. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's try and eat one. Om-nom, om-nom. Perfect. Okay. Let's get rid of om-nom. That's pretty useless. Exit if the player and give the player XP if they're sneaking. Okay. So let's check if they're sneaking. And if they are, we don't want to do any of this. So if they're sneaking, they want to use it to get the XP off. So let's do execute. We made the predicate already. So execute if predicate, which we have down here, is sneaking. Run, return, run, and we'll run a function. And the function we're going to run is give XP. Copy that. Okay. Let's just pop in there and put a placeholder. Say, I'm sneaking. Save. And here, let's say normal. Save. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's right click. Normal, normal, normal. Let's sneak and right click. I'm sneaking, I'm sneaking, I'm sneaking. Cool. Back we go. Right. Well, we can't get the XP, so we can't give the player XP until they've stored XP, so it makes sense to do the storing XP first. Now, what we're going to do here is we're just going to do a fail message if the Emerald has already got XP on it. I'm going to set it up so the Emerald can only have 50 XP. And there is another reason why, which I'll go into later as well. But first, let's check if there is XP stored on it. Let's execute if items entity at S or weapon.mainHand. Now, if you see me making a spelling mistake, try and shout so loud that it goes back in time and I hear you. So, because we don't have any spell checking. We don't care what item, so we'll put a star. But we do need to check the Minecraft custom data tilde equals. So tilde is going to do a predicate check. XP stored true. Then we will run, return, run. We'll do a tell raw because we can make them look nicer. At S, we'll have a bit of text and a color. Text, the emerald already contains XP. And since it's a warning, we might as well just go for red or any color you prefer. Okay. Now we can't check this yet because we haven't got an emerald XP stored on it. But if you remember in our recipe, we do have where is it? We do have XP emerald on it. Okay, so we could check for that as a little temporary check. Let's do that as a temporary check. So let's change this XP stored to XP emerald. Save. And let's go back and we can just check that line is working. So don't sneak and we'll right click. Emerald already contains XP. That's fantastic. Okay. Let's go back and change that to stored. So now we're pretty confident that when we add that custom data, XP stored, that's going to stop us working. Reset some temporary data. Okay. Scoreboard. Players. Reset. We're going to have, let's call them player current points. That makes sense. Because your XP is stored as points and as levels, and each level needs more points to get to. it's not fun to play with, to be honest. Levels, and just to be annoying, when you get to level 17, they change the way that the level the points are generated or needed, just to add more confusion. So this is the best way I found of doing this. So we've got 2. Let's get one more, and we're going to call this one points to add. Points to add, and then we're going to have a loop. In fact, that's just going to be function, and we're going to call that store XP loop there. Okay, then here's the little bit. If you go to 17 levels, you need to do a little bit of math. Well, I found all we have to do actually is add 1 point, and it fixes it. It fixes it well enough. Okay, there's always a little bit of XP left over, or sometimes you don't get quite enough back. But to be honest, it's good enough. So let's adjust for that 16 to 17 boundary. Execute. If score. Now in store XP loop, we're going to count how many points to add, and we're going to check that now. In fact, actually, I might just copy that name. If score points to add value. Did I write value? Yes. Matches. And with a little bit of testing, 394. That is the boundary between level 16 and 17. So if you've gone over 394, you've hit level 17. Run scoreboard. Oh, you can autofill that one for me. Thank you. Players, add, points to add dot value, 1. And that's a good enough fix. Okay, so that's good. Now, if we've got no experience, remember we've come into this store XP loop. We haven't done it yet, but we will, and we'll count how much experience we've got. So we'll do a check here as well. If we haven't got any experience, then there's no point going any further. So let's do execute unless score. Do I still have points? Saw. I heard you shout. Thank you. Score. Points to add value. Matches 1 or higher. Run, return, run. Oh, we're going to do a tell war. We might as well just copy this tell war here. Copy. Put that in there, and we'll just change the message. Well, we have no experience to store. Okay. Now, if this is going to exit, if we've got no experience, to be honest, we might as well just put it above that one. No point doing that check if we haven't got any experience. Why not? Let's do that. That makes more sense, doesn't it? There we go. Now, if we've got no experience, we're just going to exit. We're not going to bother checking that. Before, we were checking this and then checking that. We now have a condition where sometimes we've saved ourselves doing 1 score check, which, to be fair, has saved ourselves probably no time at all. Or such a small amount of time. Okay, but we've got down here, we've got some numbers to store, some points to add. Let's function, and we will store XP, and we'll initialize. Okay, now we can't really test anything yet because we haven't calculated the points. So let's go off and do that loop and calculate the points we need. Let's close that down and that down. Let's open up the loop. Get the player's current levels. Okay. Execute. What on earth is that? That says skew. Execute. My brain's frozen. Store. Store. Result. I see it. Thank you. See that? It's working. You're shouting at me when I make the spelling mistakes, and I'm hearing you through time itself. Execute store result as a score. Player current levels. Value. Value. Run. XP. And we can just query the XP, can't we? Query at S levels. Yep, let's copy that. Paste it back, but do the same for points. So what we're going to do is we're going to check, okay, how many points and levels have you got? And then we're going to go down. We're going to say, have you hit the maximum? If you have, I'm stopping. Do you have no points at all? If you have, I'm stopping. Otherwise, I'm going to take 1 point off you. And then I'm going to save that point. And then we'll run again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be taking 1 point every time. And when that point goes down, so points goes down, and then they'll hit the next level. So maybe they've got 1 level and 10 points. We'll take 10 points off, and then suddenly they'll have no level and a certain amount of points. And we're just going to keep looping through until we've sucked all those points off them. But here, we're going to limit the loop so they can only store 50 experience, 50 levels in 1 emerald. And another reason for doing this is because of the amount of commands it's going to run in 1 tick. If we try to store much more than 50, it's going to overflow the command limit and it's just going to crash. So, I mean, it won't do anything. It just won't break the game or anything like that. It just won't store your XP and it won't work. But we'll execute if score. And then we want our points to add, value, matches, thank you, value. Why do I have so much trouble with that word today? Matches and 50 levels, which is actually 4344 points or higher. Run, return, fail. Okay. So obviously we're not going to fail straight away. We're going to have to run through this 5,344 times, which is so fast you won't even know. And if we get to that high, that's 50 levels. We're stopped. That's all you're allowed to store. Okay. But we've got no points. There's no point going any further either. So let's do execute if score hashtag player current points value matches 0, and also if score player current levels matches 0, then run, return, fail. Okay. Now it looks like that one as well can go above that one. So let's do that. So let's get their points, let's get their levels. If they have no points and they have no levels, we will return a fail. There's no point doing anything. They haven't got any. So we're going to have 0 in points to add. That seems all right. And then we should come down into here, execute, and actually we'll have null. We won't have 0 in points to add. Look, in use XP Emerald, we are resetting it. That is not setting it to 0. That's setting it to nothing. That is different to 0. Then in here, we're going to count their levels and points. If they don't have any, we're going to fail. Then we're going to come in here and say, unless points matches 1 or higher, well, nothing is not 1 or higher. So we're going to say no experience. Cool. Okay. Now we'll remove 1 XP point from the player. XP add. There isn't a remove function. And we'll add -1. There we go. And since we've taken 1 off, we'll add 1 to our points to add. Players. Brain freeze. Add. Points to add. Value 1. And let's loop through this function again. Copy resource paths, put you in there. Okay, so we come in, we count how much we've got. If we haven't got anything left, we fail. If we've already done 50 levels, we fail. On the other hand, we'll take 1 point off them, we'll add 1 point to points to add, and then we'll go back and do it again. So you can see this is just going to drain all their points until we hit one of these 2 conditions. Either they have no points to add, or they've already added too much. Then we'll pop out of the loop, we'll come down here, we'll check, do they have any points? Okay, we'll continue. Then we'll check, are they above level 16? Are they in 17? Okay, we'll add 1. And then we'll store the XP. Okay. So we should be able to check no experience to store now, shouldn't we? Let's do that. Let's do a reload. Let's get into survivals. So I have got XP. So at the moment, if I right click, no experience to store. But I have got experience to store, you horrible thing. Okay, what happens if I take away my XP? No experience to store. Now I have moved some things around. Points to add value. Store XP loop. Add value 1. Execute if score. Value matches yes. Yeah, if score player current levels. I didn't write the word value in there. You didn't shout loud enough. Okay. Reload. Okay. Oh, it actually did something. It sucked away all my levels. It didn't do anything else. It just went sucked them all away. Okay, let's give myself some XP. Add infernal device. Let's do 50 levels because that was our max. So it should be able to suck all that away. Oh yeah, there we go. Like I said, sometimes it'll leave us with a little bit. It's close enough. So it did suck 50 levels away. And we didn't store anything. Okay, what if we give ourselves 100 levels? And we use it. Now, you think, well, why didn't that take 50 off? And that's because it's taking off points. And you need as many points to get from level 1 to level 50 as you do to get from level 93 to get to 100. So we could take a bit more off. 85. Took a bit more off that time. 76. We're getting there. 64. 49, this should all disappear in one go then. Disappears in one go. We get a little residual left over. Okay, great. So that is slurping away all of our XP, and it should be adding it to the points to add value, hopefully. So, back to use XP Emerald, and we'll go to store XP in it. Reset the stored values. Okay, are we going to do a bit of storage? Let's put this into storage. Okay, so we'll do data remove just to be safe. We're going to override it anyway, but data remove from storage. I'm going to use this for my Dataland world. So should we put Dataland or shall I just do ID? Let's do ID. ID data XP value. Okay, and then we'll store that. We will execute store result into storage, into ID data, into the XP value as an integer. We'll times it by 1, so we're not going to make any changes. We will run scoreboard players get hashtag points to add value. Okay. So now we've stored that into storable. Oh, let's do a test. We can test that. Let's test that. Reload. Let's give ourselves XP add at S. Can we do one level? You see my level disappeared. Okay, now if we do data check data, that's not how you check data. Data get from storage. ID data. Do we have any residual stuff left over from other tutorials? No. Well, there's nothing in there though. That's not a good sign, is it? Okay, let's give ourselves 10 levels. No experience to store. Oh, did I press the button twice? That would override it, wouldn't it? Oh dear me. No cooldown on this, you see. Just press it once. Well, it doesn't seem to be saving the data in there. So, have I made a mistake in one of these commands? First of all, let's check we are calling this. Store XP in it. We certainly seem to be. Well, let's check if it shows up. Store XP. I don't see store XP in it. Okay. So what have we done? What silly little thing have I done? You know it's going to be obvious. So data removed from storage, ID data, XP value seems fine. Execute store result in storage, ID data, XP value as an integer. 1. Run scoreboard. Players get points to add value. That seems right to me. You know, I'm just gonna paste them in here. That looks happy. Let's grab that one and paste it in here as well. Oh, look, there you go. Right, what do scoreboard players get points to add value? Oh my. Do you know what? You can't have been shouting loud enough because I did not hear you telling me, you've put scoreboard, you silly idiot. Scoreboard. There we go. Not scoreboard. Scoreboard. Well, let's go back. Have we saved that? Let's save it. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. And let's give ourselves some levels. Let's give ourselves some points. 1 point. Got 1 point. Let's use this. Okay, used it. Should have stored it. Let's check the data. 1. Okay, let's do 10 points. Let's use our emerald. I'm hoping we'll get a 10. Okay, storage ID data. We got a 10. Let's add 50 levels. Ooh, yum yum. Use that. What have we got in data? We've got 5345. So there you can see where I got that number from as well. And our XP loop 5344. Higher than. Okay, so that seems good. We've got a number. As I said, it's not exact, but it's close enough. Run the macro function to replace the player's item. Ooh, we're going to have a long one here then. Okay, so macro. It's going to be a give command function. XP macro with storage ID data, and we put it into XP. No, just ID data. Yeah. Now we have access to storage ID data, which means we have access to the XP value. Okay, save. Let's store XP. Let's remove an emerald from the main hand first, because to be honest, that's going to be much easier. Item, modify, entity, at S, weapon dot main hand. Where's our item modifier? There it is. Remove 1 from stack. Remove 1 from stack. Okay, we can do a check on that. Reload. Click very quickly. There we go. We lost 1. Cool. Okay. Now we have to give them a custom emerald. So let's do this without the macro first. So let's give S poisonous potato. Poisonous potato. And now we need to put all that stuff in it we had before. So we had Minecraft custom data equals, and we're going to put 2 things in here. One, we're going to say, well, it's an XP emerald, so we better put that back in. It's an XP emerald. So we're going to have 3 things. And we're going to, XP emerald true. And we're going to say there's XP stored on it now, true. And we want to store the actual XP, so we'll say value. And let's just hard code this value to 9999. That'll do for now. Okay. Actually, let's hard code it to 50 levels. 4, 3, 5. What was it? 5, 3, 4, 5, I think it was. That'll do. Save. Okay, so we've got, it's an XP emerald. Yes. Does it have XP on it? Yes, it does. What is the value of that XP? Hard coded to 50 levels. Okay. And then we want the enchantment glint override. Enchantment glint override, which I think we just do with true. But we also need Minecraft food. Oh, I forgot to put Minecraft enchantment glint override. Never mind. Minecraft food, which will equal nutrition. We had a 0. Saturation. We had a 0. Can always eat. We have as true. If you are shouting at me, I think I can hear you. Yes, nutrition. Saturation 0. Can always eat true. That's okay for food, but then we need the consumable. Minecraft consumable equals. And in here we had the, what do they call it? They call it consume seconds. Consume seconds. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put that namespace on the enchantment glint override. Minecraft. There we go. So it's going to take 1,000,000 seconds to eat it. We need a name. Minecraft item name equals open and close. Let's have 1. Let's have 2 for the color. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to add another one as well, which is going to say true. So the text, did we call it XP Emerald, I believe? XP Emerald. The color was gold. You could change it though. You could have a different color name when it's full. You know, that's all right. Should we do that? Why not? Just for poops and giggles. Color aqua. I prefer dark aqua, if that is a color. And here I'm going to say bold true. Bold true. Okay, but we also need some lore. So Minecraft lore equals, that will be a list. We're going to want 2 entries. So we'll have 1 entry, 2 entries. The first entry, I'll just have some text. Second entry, again, is just going to be some text. And we'll tell them how much XP is stored. XP stored, brackets, and what we got, we've hard coded 5345. Okay, and then we'll do text, and we'll do shift plus right click to retrieve XP. But this is still going to look like a potato, so model as well. Minecraft item model equals, and I believe it's just going to go in here in speech marks. Minecraft Emerald. Ooh, okay, it's a long one, and without any auto check. I'm a bit scared. Right, let's go and check it. Reload. Let's give ourselves some levels. Let's 50 levels. Right, I think we've broken the command because it didn't take away my emerald. If we look at this, yeah, that's still the same one. Okay, let's give ourselves some levels back. And I think we can check as well. If I do function here, I bet we cannot see store XP macro. No. Okay. Oh my god, do I have to, let's we checked that one. We know that's fine. We had that one working. Okay, so give a poisonous potato. I think probably what we could do is take that command, and since it's my VS Code that's just not autofilling. I mean, yours might be fine, in which case it'll make it much easier for you, but I get problems with my VS Code. I think it's because of where I'm trying to connect from. Can we just put this command in here? And there we go. We can see it's broken already. So at least we can go through and find out where it's broken. No, we can't. Okay. Wonderful. It's just broken in there somewhere, but it's not going to tell us where. I suppose I could rewrite the entire thing in here. And if I have no other option, that is what I'll do. But let's have a quick look first. Let's see if we can spot the mistake before we go to that extreme. So we're going to give the poison potato. It's going to have Minecraft custom data equals XP Emerald true. Yes, we have no, yeah. Yeah, looks enchantment glint override. So what I'm looking for is quite often a full stop or something like that instead of a comma. Saturation is spelt correctly. Nutrition, yeah. Consumable. That is how you spell consumable, isn't it? And it is consumes seconds, which is not a string. Let's check all these Minecrafts. Minecraft. Okay, we haven't done my old mistake of putting an X in there by mistake. Item name. Is there a dark aqua? Do you know what? Maybe I just put that. I shouldn't have played around. Maybe I should put that to gold. Maybe there isn't a dark aqua. It could literally be that. It's not that. It's not that. We'll keep it as gold anyway. Bold equals true seems correct. Minecraft lore XP stored. That's just a text. Yeah. Yeah. I do not spot the problem. I do not spot the problem. Okay, so I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put that into that box. And what we'll do, are you happy if I remove Minecraft Emerald? No. Are you happy if we remove the law? No. Are you happy if we remove the name? No. Are you happy if I remove the consumable? No. Are you happy if I remove the food? No. Are you happy if I remove the enchantment glint override? Okay. We made a spelling mistake in enchantment glint override. Hey, that looks correct. Oh no, enchantment glint override equals true. Do you know how many times I've made that mistake? So many times. Enchantment glint override equals true. And I should know because all these others say equals, don't they? Look, this one says equals, this one says equals. It should say equals. Okay. Oh, that's such an annoying one. More annoying because I've done it so many times before as well. I really must learn that one. It's back, which is good. Let's get ourselves some levels. We've got 50. Let's munch this thing. We've got 10 left. XP Emerald. It says it's got that stored on it. Okay, so that seems right. Oh, and now if I try and right click, it says already contains XP. Okay. Right. Let's get rid of... How do you get rid of stuff? Don't. There we go. Let's just put it in there. Let's stop this being hard-coded. So we're passing the XP stored, and we are passing that as the XP value. Okay, so let's copy that. And let's go back to that macro, and wherever we've got that number, let's just replace it with a $, open and close some normal brackets, not curly, not square. $, normal brackets, and a $, on the beginning of the command. We will save that. We will go back. We will do a reload. Oh, I'm going to have to give myself a munchy, get myself a new one. Okay. It took 10. It left me with a little tiny bit. It says it's got 170 stored. Let's reuse it. We can't. So, next stage. Let's get that XP back off. So give XP. So we're still coming in here. We need to sneak and give XP. Okay. Exit with a fail message if the player is holding an emerald without XP stored on it. Okay. Now I reckon what we could do here, exit with a fail message if the player is holding an emerald with XP. Oh, okay. Let's just copy that. And put that in there. And say exit unless. And let's change the message. Emerald contains no XP. Save that. Now we should be able to do a test on that. This one does have XP in it, so that shouldn't do anything. But let's get ourselves one that doesn't. Let's do a shift on that. Contains no XP. Oh, it's good, it's good. Store the amount of XP that is on the emerald. Okay, execute, store result into storage, into ID data. We'll just put it into XP value. That's fine. XP value as an integer, times it by 1, run data get from an entity, me from my selected item, and then it would be in a component or components, and then we would be looking for Minecraft custom data. And the Minecraft custom data we would be looking for would be .value. Is that where? Let's have a look at the give macro or the store macro. Minecraft custom data value. Okay, that's what we're looking for, yeah. And we're going to store that into XP value. Save that. Now we'll remove an emerald. XP, remove one from stack. So we will do item modify. It's not one word, Infernal. Not one word. Item modify entity add s their weapon dot main hand. With that, remove one from stack. Give them a new emerald back. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. In fact, no, let's do it now. Let's do it now. Give them a new emerald back. So we're going to have to give them a default emerald. Okay, let's go to this macro. Let's copy this give command. Copy. Let's go back and let's put this in here. So it's not going to use a macro this time, so let's get rid of that off the beginning to start with. It's going to be called an XP Emerald. Its color will be gold, but it's bold. Wasn't true before, was it, in our recipe? No. We will not be having 2 lines of lore because we don't want to tell them what value is stored. We will not even be storing a value, and we won't have XP stored. Okay, so we can check all of that is true. We are missing shift right click to retrieve XP. No, let's go to our recipe. We had right click to store XP. Right click to store XP. Save. So it's potato, yes. XP Emerald, true, yes. There's nothing stored on it, that's fine. Enchantment Glint, yeah. Food, can eat, yeah. Yep. The name looks fine. It's not bold anymore, that's good. Right click to, yeah, okay, that looks alright. And now let's summon an XP orb at the player. So we will execute, summon a Minecraft. Is it called Experience Orb, isn't it? Experience Orb. And we'll do some stuff to it. We will store the result onto an entity at S. So at S is not going to be me now. At S in this command is going to be the orb that we're currently summoning. So we're going to store onto that thing, into its value, as a short, times it by 1, run data get from storage, ID data, the XP value. Save. And then we go back and we have our fingers crossed and we hope, let's have a look, this one's got XP stored, this one hasn't. Shift contains no XP. Oh, we got 10 levels back, and now look, we've got 2, so we must have got it right because it's stacked. If we got any of those components wrong, they wouldn't stack. Okay, so let's do an XP add at S 100 levels. So what you could do now, in fact, what we'll make, let's make ourselves a few more. Okay, we'll keep them up there. You know, you're annoying me, go away. Okay, so we could save 1 little bit, 2 little bits, or we could just keep our finger down, actually. And it'll keep going. It'll suck up all our experience till there's none left to store. So these ones, there's none. And then we can have a look. These are all full. 5, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we set that limit. And this one's got the little bit that was left over. So now we should be able to shift, munch that one. And then if we want, we can put it back. These should each be 50 each. 50 levels, yeah. 65, yeah. It's going to go down each time because remember, it takes more points to get each level each time. So, but we should end up with what we had before, which is 110 and 12 emeralds. We can suck it all away. There we go. Now I go and put that in my chest. That is all safe. I go off and do the dangerous stuff. Then I die. And I'm not worried though, because I didn't lose any experience. Because I come back and go, I need to do some enchanting because I need some new gear now. That's fine. I can just munch that, munch all of those, and I've got my 110 levels back. Now, I don't know if that little green bar is a bit different sometimes. So down there, we can see it's tiny, tiny little bit. And there, it's on the last heart. Let's try again. Tiny little bit. Seems reasonably consistent. It's certainly good enough for me, and I am happy with it. Well, it works. There you go. Just rub an emerald, just rub a diamond all over your emerald. Now you can store your XP on it. Keep it safe when you go off on your adventures. But we don't want players to be able to store all their XP on one. And because it crashes if you try to store too much because there's too many looping commands. So we've limited it to 50, which I think is all right. So what my plan is to, in my series, I'm going to make myself a few of these. Because I think if you're going to go and enchanting things, if you need to use, let's say, 3 enchantment levels to enchant a mending book or something, if you have 100 levels That's using loads and loads of points. If you only have 3 levels, you're not using many points at all. So you probably don't want to store too much in one. Anyway, I'm waffling. We're done. Busy. I'm off. I will see you soon. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.